Building an online business is simple, and the actions you need to take to be successful are typically not difficult. You're not becoming a rocket scientist or performing open heart surgery or studying to pass the bar exam. But what is difficult is morphing yourself into somebody who is capable of success and deserving of responsibility and consistent, and you can show up for yourself day after day, even though you don't know how things are going to work out, even though you're constantly doing things that you've never done before. Becoming the person who is comfortable in that environment is the hard part. You have to completely change your perception of yourself and your habits and the way that you think about money, the way that you think about your capabilities, and you have to prove to yourself over and over that you are malleable, that you can change, that you are capable of living a life that you're not living right now. And that is what stops most people from ever being successful. They are too stuck in old programming and old habits and old thought patterns to ever become somebody who is capable of success. I had my first taste of success in the online space when I was 20 years old. I built a marketing agency for local basketball trainers that needed new customers, and I would run Facebook ads for them, help them get more leads, and then help them close more of those leads. I got that business up to around 20K per month, and that led me into the info product space where I started working with influencers who sell courses and coaching online, and in this business I was able to get it up to over $100,000 a month in just a year and a half. There are 10 principles that if I knew earlier, I would have been far more successful a lot quicker. I would have saved a lot of time second guessing myself and trying to build these businesses with a broken mindset. If I would have just known these 10 things, I would have been a lot further ahead. But that's why I learned them, so I can share them with you now, and you can have success even quicker than I have. Principle number 1, the best outreach system doesn't exist. Stop looking for the perfect outbound method. Stop looking for the perfect pitch, the perfect way to get clients. If you take the time to actually be creative and crafty in your messaging and your outbound, then you're gonna have a lot more success a lot quicker. Blindly DMing strangers, hey bro, I wanna work with you, does not work. It might have worked 5 years ago when nobody was getting pitches, but now everyone is always getting pitched. So you have to stand out. And the good thing is nobody is standing out. It's actually really easy to get clients if you put the time into crafting a really good message. This is where quality matters more than quantity does. You could get your next client or even your first client within the next 5 pitches if you are strategic, if you're calculated, if you'll go assess someone's situation, find what can be improved, find how they can make more money and how you can help them, and then reach out with that in mind and show them, hey, I think you can make more money by changing this in your funnel or changing this in your messaging or changing this on your website. Here's how. I went ahead and did it for you. That will bring you success way quicker than just blindly throwing paint at the wall and hoping that somebody hires you even though you're some random stranger on the internet. Why the fuck would they reply to you? You have to completely discard the idea that there is some perfect outbound system and that if you just send enough spammy messages that you're gonna get a client. It doesn't work that way. You have to show that you are a real competent person who can provide results for them. Principle number 2, take initiative in solving problems that are in the best interests of the business, even if you're not directly responsible for them. This is how you go above and beyond for your clients. This is how you keep clients long term and you become a real valuable asset that can't be replaced. If you run an agency, that means the main function of your business is making your clients more money. And sometimes that means you need to do more than you were hired to do because your service won't work unless something else is fixed. And if nobody is fixing that, if nobody has attention on the potential gaps that could be in a business, it's on you to go and fix those things if you want to help your client make more money and you want to keep them long term and you eventually want to get on a rev share. So understand this, yes, there might be some things that are outside of your control, but if you do everything in your power plus more to get the best results possible for your clients, then that ends up benefiting you because everybody is making more money and they're going to stay with you long term and you can potentially get a rev share. Principle number 3. Think for yourself before asking questions. In most cases, the answer is obvious and you just need to take the obvious action. It can get easy to fall into this habit of constantly looking for other people or looking to other people for guidance and for information and asking questions and not knowing what to do, so you lean on other people. And obviously that can be okay to an extent. But a lot of the time, you're just doing that as a delay of taking the action. You know exactly what to do. If you want to go get clients, obviously go send outbound messages. But it's easy to fall into this habit of convincing yourself that you don't know what to do, that you need more information, that you need more guidance. And this kind of destroys that inner trust and conviction that you'll have in yourself. Plus, you're trying to be too perfect. It's good to take the wrong action a few times because you're the person who is steering that ship. And if you steer yourself into a wall, then you have to figure out how to get out of there, and you're gonna learn a lot in that process. Principle number 4, if you don't feel like you're in over your head, you're probably not saying yes enough. The best way to learn is on the fly. It is impossible to be fully prepared for anything in life before you climb that hill. It is impossible to know exactly what you're gonna need to know or any roadblocks and hurdles that'll come up in the future. And most of the time, you just have to act, you just have to dive in, you just have to trust yourself to be able to figure out future problems. But you can't solve tomorrow's problems today, and you can't let that stop you from taking action today. You need to feel like you're in over your head. You need to feel like you have too much on your plate and you don't really know how you're gonna figure it out, because then you'll be forced to figure it out. And in that process, you'll become more capable, more competent. You'll become somebody who is more valuable and is equipped to handle stressful situations. Life is supposed to be hard, and you can either sit back and complain and be upset, or you can become somebody who knows what to do when everybody else is freaking out. Principle number 5. Do not obsess over systems and processes. Make money first, worry about efficiency later. You need money. That should be your first priority. And odds are there's only 1 or 2 things that you should be doing every single day that have a direct correlation to the amount of money that's going into your pocket or your client's pocket. And obsessing over the systems and creating SOPs and ZAPs and all of this stuff that will eventually matter, but doesn't matter right now because you don't have leads, you don't have customers, you don't have a ton of traffic, then you need to focus on the actual high ROI activity, which would be getting more eyeballs, getting more attention. So a lot of the time, this is just a way of distracting yourself from taking massive action in the actual area that's important, the actual area that will grow the business. You can shore up the processes and the systems and make it really efficient later on, but it doesn't matter if you don't have money coming in, you don't have traffic for those systems to flourish. Principle number 6, non-scalable actions will differentiate you from your competition. Everyone's looking for the shortcut, for the hack. They're looking to go viral. They're looking for the perfect messaging. And if you understand that the things that don't scale, the things that not everybody will do because they might be tedious, they might be hard, they might be annoying, you might have to use your brain a bit more, you might not just be able to be a robot. Most people just don't have the mental fortitude to think outside the box, and they won't. So you doing that, you thinking for yourself and figuring out a way to differentiate yourself from everybody else will naturally give you an advantage. Principle number 7, not every client is going to be a home run, and that's okay. Sometimes you have to know when to cut your losses. Sometimes you'll enter an agreement with the client and they won't really hold up their end of the bargain. They won't be making content, or they will get a VSL back to you 3 months after you ask for it. You know, things will just take too long. And in those situations, you can't be tied to trying to force it to work. Sometimes you have to walk away from opportunities that you thought were fruitful, that you thought something was really gonna work out, and it doesn't. Yes, it's a bummer, but you can always take lessons away from that. And an issue arises if you spend too much time beating a dead horse. If you're just so sure on this one idea or this one client and it stops you from doing outreach, it stops you from creating other opportunities, then that's where it ends up hurting you. Principle number 8, just find a way to get your foot in the door. That's all you need. All you need is one opportunity. And from there, you can do your best, you can go above and beyond, you can show that you are gonna be somebody who is gonna show up every day and work hard and do what's asked of them plus more, and then something good will come of it. And then you'll reach a position where you have more opportunity, where you have more leverage, and maybe you'll make a bunch of money with a client, or maybe that'll end up in a referral or just some opportunity that you don't have access to right now. And all you have to do first is get your foot in the door any way you can. I have a student in my coaching program who recently signed a really good client by paying them $500 for a consultation call. That's a great example of finding any way to get your foot in the door. Nobody told him to do that. There's no SOP. You know, he just went above and beyond. He went out of his way to think, okay, I want to work with this person. How can I get in contact with them? He did whatever it took, and it ended up working out for him. Principle number 9. The best opportunities are typically found when a client is making a lot of money despite the fact that they're doing a lot of things wrong. They just have so much traffic or so much trust with their audience that they're still able to sell their product, sell their coaching, but they're not sending any emails, or their VSL, it hasn't been revised in 3 months, or they don't have very much social proof on the landing page. Like, there's all these little gaps that need to be fixed and will result in an increase in income. But despite the fact that they have those gaps, they're still making money. That shows that that's a really good opportunity, because there's so much trust with their audience, and all you have to do is come in and fix those gaps, and boom, you can double or triple their business in the next month. Principle number 10, and probably the most important one here. Your conscious brain is not your friend. You are going to try and talk yourself out of action constantly. You're always going to tell yourself that you need more information, that you need help, that there's a reason that you can't do what you should today, or that there's a reason that you should wait until tomorrow. And there's going to be a constant battle with that voice in your head. And if you don't learn how to shut it out, if you don't learn how to just stop listening to it, then it will continue to have power over you. But once you shut it out, once you act despite the fact that you're uncomfortable and that you're doing things that you've never done before, then you will find success. And you'll almost find it funny that you ever let that voice stop you, because you'll realize that it really wasn't that scary. It really was never that daunting. You just had to dive in. You just had to trust yourself. And once you did that, you'll get everything you want out of life, out of business, financially. You will become the person that you want to be when you can just act despite the fact that you don't feel prepared. That wraps up the 10 principles. And again, I promise if you just implement these things into your business and you abide by them, you will find success a hell of a lot quicker. On that note, thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, share this with your grandma, and go to the description if you want to get direct coaching from me. Anyway, I'm out. Peace.